It was amazing, the transformation after going through what was the beginnings of the Institute of Self-Worth, how these gentlemen received grace. It's such a good feeling to know that you're helping people, particularly people who have been shunned aside, thrown away, and giving them something to live for.
There's nothing like watching the light come on the inside of somebody and seeing the hope come back into an individual. And through the Institute of Self-Worth, you see that happen.
Hello again. I'm Vic Porter here in Madisonville, Kentucky. I'm going to be talking right now with Kim Abbott and also Brooke Foster. This is Kim and this is Brooke. We're going to take Kim first because Brooke pointed at her and said, "You go first." So that's what we'll do. And so, Kim, I'm getting them mixed up here.
No, I'm Kim.
You're Kim.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, Kim. It has down here that you were in jail here at Hopkins County Jail,
yes,
and you were there because of drugs. Is
yes.
that correct? Now, have you been a user of drugs for a long time?
Since I was 14 and I'm 42.
Is that right? My, how did you get started in drugs?
Well, how I got started was just peer pressure and friends. You know, I started out with just smoking a little pot, and then
Next thing you know,
next thing you know, it escalated to heavy drugs, heavy.
drugs. It was an addiction that you couldn't break?
Yes.
Did you try to break it?
Yes, several
More
times.
than once?
Yes, but the withdrawal was so powerful, and you know, it took me being incarcerated to come through the withdrawals in jail. That's what finally broke me from that, and then I didn't want to go back.
Now, you said that you are married and that your husband has done drugs, well, he's not right now. Correct?
No, right. Yes,
But,
we did it together.
You did it together. And you have 2 children, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. How did they know that you were doing drugs? And
Yeah, yes. My daughter, which lived with me her whole life, she's always known that I've done something, and she knew when it escalated into the bigger things. You know, she knew. But I think
she's just watched you over these years,
right?
And knew that. And is she accepted the fact that you've gotten help and gotten free?
Yeah, she's very proud of me now.
Oh, good. Now, is she out on her own? Is that?
Yes, she's 21.
21. Does she live in the area?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you have a son? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And what's his response to?
Me and him had never been as close as me and Tara, but he sort of kept his distance. Stayed with his dad a lot. He didn't want to be around it. Which Tara was a mama's girl, and she was with me all the time. Yeah. And but now he's very proud of me. He calls me all the time and wants me to see the grandkids. And
Oh yeah.
he tells me he's proud of me. And
Good,
so.
good. Now you've taken the course, or all the way through the Institute of Self-Worth?
No, I've taken several of them,
Several
but not all the way
sessions,
through.
okay.
I took it inside the Hopkins County Jail.
Okay, with Rita, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And well, tell me, any particular subject in there that has ministered to you more than any other one? That you mentioned, I think, the horse and the ship.
Yeah, I liked them all, but that was my favorite because I was real cocky and had a mouth, and I realized, you know, I can't just say anything I want.
Yeah.
Need to watch
Did you
that.
think that you were trying to? Now that you look back on it, was that your protective covering, is to have a mouth and
Most definitely.
and you hid behind that?
Yeah.
Okay, but now the curtains spread apart, and there you are, and you've got to deal with that, right?
Yeah.
And the message on the horse and the ship out of James chapter 3, and the horse represents ourselves, but the ship represents our circumstances, and were circumstances tightening in on you all the time, and
Bad.
people,
Yes.
and whenever they would tighten in on you, you would just say something just to get them off your back, right? But now you're starting to change that, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. And if you were to mention anything to the public that's watching, to the audience, what would you do? What would you tell somebody that's crying out for help? Yeah, you know, I'm sitting here and I'm talking to both of you just before this, and And it's hard for me to comprehend that you started at 12, is that right? And you started at 14. You know, I have a hard time comprehending it. I guess I've grown up in an era where that wasn't so much there. I mean, it may have been, but I didn't know it. And but you know, today we've got a whole different ballgame out there in the public schools. And you're saying that both of you are saying that a lot of drugs are in the schools and a lot of peer pressure.
Yes.
Is that right? And that's why some of the kids turn to that.
Yes.
What would you tell the audience of, and what would you tell them to do in order to begin to be set free from that?
Lay it down. Lay it down and run.
Run. You don't need the peer pressure, do you?
No. People are going to like you for you, you know.
That's the only way to really like people,
Yeah.
is for yourself.
And if you're doing it just to be big and you ain't got nothing, you shouldn't have to prove nothing to nobody but yourself anyways.
That's right. That's right. Well, it's been a privilege to visit with you and talk with you, and we just pray that you just continue to be blessed and continue to be set free. Your husband's being set free, is that correct?
Hopefully soon.
Soon. Well, we agree with you that he will in Jesus' name, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Kim, it's a pleasure to have you here. I appreciate it very, very much.